In this video, we are going to discuss about the animal classification. Before this, I just want to discuss why we need to discuss the classification and what is the requirement of classification. Classification is required for a comparative study of two organisms. Classification makes the study of any of the organism convenient and comfortable. Sorry. With the help of classification, we are able to understand evolutionary history of the different organism. I mean, we are able to understand which organism evolved after which organism. Yes, so we are able to discuss about the ecological balance also. So the classification of organisms scientifically known as taxonomy. Taxonomy is the classification of living organism, because classification, we can classify anything. We can classify books in library, we can classify grocery in a grocery shop. So the classification of living organism is known as, or the scientific classification of living organism is known as taxonomy, where the organisms are classified on the basis of their cellular structure, their mode of habitat, nutrition, their habitat, their some of the characteristics on which they are similar and some of the characteristics on which they are different. Now there are before classifying any of the organism, we are supposed to give name to these organism, and naming of these organism is known as binomial nomenclature. So what is binomial nomenclature? So we are going to study today animal classification, and animal classification, most of the part is in your practical. So you have to maintain your practical file for all these organisms, that I will tell you how. So first which we are going to discuss is binomial nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature means naming of organism on the basis of scientific study. This contains two names. One is generic name and one is species name. Like Smita Agrawal. My name is Smita Agrawal. So how I have to write? First I have to write my generic name, that is Agrawal, and then I have to write my species name, that is a Smita. That is a specific name. So actually स्मिता अग्रवाल तो कोई species नहीं है, but एक example के तौर पे मैं आपको बता रही हूँ. Like the scientific name of frog is Rana tigrina. So this one is generic name and this one is species name. Genera includes species, and species is the smallest category of classification. Now there are certain rules while writing scientific name. First of all, generic name should be in capital and species name should be in small letter. If we are writing, we are writing from pen or pencil, then generic name and species name must be underlined separately, and if it is on a printed form, then it should be in italics. Italics में जो हम लिखते हैं ना, like this, ठीक है? So they should be italics if we are they are in a printing form. So these are some of the rule for binomial nomenclature. We have certain scientific name like Panthera tigris. Panthera tigris is scientific name of our national animal, that is tiger. Okay, Mangifera indica. Mangifera indica, it is the scientific name of your favorite fruit, my favorite fruit actually, that is mango. And what is our scientific name? Our scientific name is Homo sapiens sapiens. Homo sapiens sapiens, and that you have to underline. Clear? Okay. Now if we see the classification in case of animals, in case of animals, classification is done on the basis of their cellular structure. So what is the basis of their cellular structure? Look in the look here. Like animals are divided into two parts. One is acellular and the another one is multicellular. Acellular means single cell is there, and multicellular means they are made up of many cells. Now in acellular there is a cellular level of organization, means they are made up of single cell. In multicellular they are divided into two categories. One is tissue level of organization, where they have only tissue, and one is organ level of organization, where the proper organ system is there. Like we have a organ system of classification. So, and Hydra is a tissue level of organization, and amoeba, paramecium, they are cellular level of organization. Now in case of organ level of organization, we have two categories. One is acoelomate. A means absent, coelom means body cavity. So in which body cavity absent, and the another one is coelom, in which body cavity present. So these are basically some of the classification which we have to study. And now the first phylum in case of multicellular which we are going to discuss is, in acellular we have amoeba, we have paramecium, already we have discussed in last videos. In multicellular, the first phylum which we are going to discuss is, okay, before that let me share one thing, that before doing any of the classification we have to understand the unit of classification. So unit of classification is kingdom. So now we are going to study kingdom Animalia. After that we have phylum. So we will discuss different phylum. The term phylum is used in case of animal, and in case of plant the term used is division. After that we have class, then we have order, okay, and then we have family, then genus, and the last we have species. Okay, so first phylum which we are going to discuss is phylum Porifera. Now in phylum Porifera the body consists of pores. If I am going to draw the diagram of phylum Porifera, these are the cycon. Somehow the structure is like this, or you may draw like this. Okay. On their body, small pore-like structures are present in the entire body. These pore-like structures are called ostia. This is their mouth, and this mouth is known as osculum. And they have small spicules. So what you have to do, students, this is the part of your practical file. You have to draw the diagram of this organism. You have to write down the classification, kingdom Animalia, phylum Porifera, and rest of the classification is not the part of your syllabus, class, order and all. You are not supposed to mention. So what you have to do, you have to draw this diagram and you have to write at least 5 characteristics of this organism. So what are the 5 characteristics? That most of this is the phylum which contains cellular level of organization. मैं लिख ही देती हूँ which you are supposed to write, because many of the time you write It lives in water, it lives on land, and khatam. No. Number 1 point is cellular level of organization. Second point is they have well developed water vascular system. Well developed water vascular system means they are taking of food, water vascular system. Water means पानी के through and vascular means, what is the meaning of vascular? Vascular means transportation. They take in oxygen for respiration through water by the process of diffusion. They take food through water. They give out their waste through water. So they have well developed water vascular system. Now they have pores. Water enter through these pores and come out through this osculum. So continuously they have water currents. Okay. So their oxygen enter through these water and ostia, nutrients and all, and the waste come out through osculum. Next is body consists of pores, and these pores called ostia. Please write down the complete sentence. I am just writing a point of reference only. The next point is the mouth-like structure is there, and that mouth-like structure is osculum. Okay, and the fifth point is they have one different organ. Not organ, they have some part which act as a defense system or offense and defense system, that is called spicules. For defense they have अपने बचाव के लिए भी और अपने आक्रमण के लिए भी they have spicules. Spicules are the cells of silica. So in case any grazing animals want to eat them, so they can protect themselves. So one more is they have intracellular digestion, and if I am talking about example, sponges are in this group. So they have a good water holding capacity. Okay, and sponges हैं. इसके अलावा है spongilla, Venus flower basket. Venus flower basket is also an example of this phylum. इसी phylum का part है. Okay, I will share one of the PDF where I will show you some features of these animals, but abhi to you need to understand how to draw the diagram. That's why I am discussing here. Okay, the next phylum is that is Coelenterata. Phylum Coelenterata. This phylum include, let me check the spelling, E-N-T-E-R-A-T-A. This is also known as Cnidaria. Now in this phylum we have organism like hydra, jellyfish. So if I will draw the diagram, okay, these are tentacles, and in junior classes I believe you people have done lot of things, read about hydra, how they move, they do somersaulting. Generally they live in marine region. Okay, these are the tentacles, and there they have some cells. Okay, so what is the properties of phylum Coelenterata? First of all, they show tissue level of organization. Okay, the second important point is they have tentacles. Now what is the function of tentacles? Students, again I am telling you, you are not supposed to write this single word, you have to write the complete sentence as given in your book. I am writing here only a reference point. Tentacles, these are the tentacles. Tentacles helps in movement. Tentacles helps in collecting of food. Tentacles helps to catch prey. So tentacles is a very important part of Hydra. Okay, they have tentacles. They also have a offense and defensive organ, and they have a defensive organ like nematocyst. Now what is nematocyst? Nematocyst are the stinging cells. They are also known as stinging cells. They are also known as stinging cells. They are also known as nidoblast, which helps to capture prey or helps in protection. Number 4, they occur in 2 stages. One is medusa stage and one is polyp stage. Polyp occurs solitary. Solitary means akele. And medusa occurs in colonial form, means they occurs in group. Medusa is free swimming, मतलब वो पानी में तैरते रहते हैं. It's easy to learn. M for medusa, M for movement, or movement. Swimming is itself is a movement. And polyp is stationary, means they fix with a stratum. Polyp shows asexual reproduction, while medusa shows sexual reproduction. They show bilateral symmetry. They are 2-layered, and they show not bilateral, sorry, radial symmetry. Now there are 2 kinds of symmetry in organism. This is important point to understand. To understand the symmetry, let's have the structure. If the organism can divide like this majority ways, then it is known as bilateral symmetry. We have bilateral symmetry, not exactly, but we have bilateral symmetry because we can divide the entire body like this. But some of the part, if we are talking like position of heart, in that sense we are not exactly bilateral symmetric, but most of the part are bilateral symmetry. In case of radial symmetry, this we have done in case of flowers also. We can divide the organism into many of the section, but that section must pass from the center. कोई भी सेंटर से जा रहा है और हम उसको किसी भी तरीके से बहुत सारे पार्ट्स में डिवाइड कर सकते हैं. You can't understand how we can divide through these 2D diagrams. We have to understand the entire structure of those organisms. So there is no choice, you have to learn. So they show radial symmetry, we have already discussed. Corals are example of this phylum. Corals आपने देखे होंगे जो कई बार रिंग के अंदर, like in this ring I have a coral. तो ये कोरल होते हैं, स्टोन होते हैं छोटे छोटे से. Beautiful corals we have actually, beautiful corals. They are very colorful and they consist of calcium carbonate. So later on when they become solid, then we used to they convert into a solid form. They convert into a small stone like structure, and later on we use these stones for making of jewelry. And even coral reefs are a source of income also for the tourist purposes because they are beautiful. It's treat to eyes to watch them. तो उसके लिए भी लोग इनको काफ़ी पसंद करते हैं. After that we have another phylum, and in this phylum we will discuss 3 phylums simultaneously. One is phylum Platyhelminthes, Eschyhelminthes, and one more is there, Annelida. So that we will discuss in the next video. So what you have to do, you have to understand the concept of binomial nomenclature, and what you have to do, you have to draw one of the organism which we are discussing here. Like in Porifera I have discussed Cycon, so you have to draw the diagram of Cycon and write down the properties in your practical file. In the similar way, in phylum Coelenterata, draw the diagram of Hydra. Whenever your school will reopen, we will show you all these specimens, and all these specimens are available in our school biology library. So that we will do whenever we have some physical classes. Till then आप इसको एक बारी 3D इमेजेस में देखिए. ये आपके साथ में 2D इमेज मैंने ड्रॉ इसलिए किया है ताकि आपको ड्रॉ करना आ जाए. In next video, or in next video, I will show all these organisms how they occurs in nature actually. Till then, take care. Goodbye.